my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today, my camera's crooked, I think. And today I have another spoiler-free book review to share with you guys. And today we are talking about Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Maria Griffin. And this was a wild ride. It was such an interesting idea, interestingly told, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's weird. It's beautifully written. There were some lines I read that I was like, oh, that's so good, and I wrote them down in my journal. There was one I'll tell you towards the end, but so basically what we have here is the story of, in one sentence, carnivorous plant that lives in a shopping mall in Dublin who is terrorizing some florists, basically. So the book starts off with a woman named Shell, and she is in the mall. And like, it's a rundown mall. You know how malls are these days, where they're not quite what they used to be back in the 90s and early 2000s and before. And, you know, it's a lot of shops are closed in it, but some are still hanging in there. And one of those such shops is a florist. And Shell's walking by and she sees a help needed sign, and she's like, oh, not help wanted, help needed. And she's going through some things. She's recently lost her job. She's recently had a breakup. She's recently had to move back in with her parents, and she's like, I'm gonna apply. And she gets the job. And from there we meet the woman who owns the flower shop, and her name is Nev, and she's this very interesting, very sort of mysterious, eclectic, beautiful woman. And Shell is instantly drawn to her. So for the book, we get a few different points of view, one of which is from the point of view of this plant. And in the heart of this shopping center, there's a greenhouse. And this plant lives inside this greenhouse, but it has parts of it all throughout the mall. And this plant and Nev have this weird relationship where the plant kind of wants her. So like I said, it's a carnivorous plant. It's the flower of it kind of looks like an orchid, and there's an eye in it, kind of like what you can see on the cover here, and it's very creepy. Then we get another point of view that's from another character who is Nev's ex-girlfriend, Jen, and she's a doctor, and they also recently broke up, and she's moved across the country. She's originally from America, but she moved to Ireland to be with Nev, but now they've broken up, so she's taken a job across the country. And so it's from Jen, the doctor, that we get a lot of the info that we need about this plant, because she's writing letters to one of the other girls that works in the mall that's friends with Nev and Shell. And so in her telling this girl the info, we're getting the info, because we're not getting much from Nev and Shell. And she's really concerned. She's really concerned that there's something wrong with Nev because she's being negatively impacted by the presence of this plant. And it was so interesting. And I loved that we got those POV moments from the plant. Like, the plant is telling us what Nev and Shell are doing. And I thought that was so interesting. So interesting. I also really liked the way that this mall was depicted. I feel like if you've ever worked in a mall, and I did back right after I finished high school, I worked in a mall for a bit. And it really does well to paint a picture of that dynamic of what it's like working in the mall, and like the kind of relationships that you build with other people working in the mall. I like that about it. And then it builds to a crescendo of what's going to happen with these people and this plant and this mall. And that's really all I can say without saying too much. But if you like weird little books that are different, that's what really gets me with horror lately. I feel, because like I love thrillers, but I feel like a lot of times thrillers, once you've read a lot of them, you need to take a break because it all becomes a little repetitive. But I find with horror, you can really play around and make things weird and interesting in fun ways. And like I say horror, this isn't scary in that you'll be scared in a traditional sort of way. It's creepy and it's unsettling and it'll get under your skin. And I just love reading new, unique ideas. And I think this is her debut. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think, and it was great, and I'll look forward to reading more from her in the future. And that's really all I got to tell you today. Next up, I'm going to be filming a reading vlog. I just filmed the beginning where I'll be reading Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones, and then also our members book club selection, Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. So if you want to join, it's Tuesday as I'm recording this video right now, and it'll go up today. So we're not doing the live chat for the book until Sunday. So that gives you time to go to your library and pick up the book and read along with us and join the book club. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, as always, for your wonderful comments. I look forward to reading every single one of them. And if you made it this far, leave some sort of plant emoji, some flowers for Nev and Shell and their beloved flower shop. Bye, guys.